What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Noel Blends. We are back at it again with another haircut tutorial. We are going to be doing a mid taper on my boy, and I'm going to show you guys step by step on what I do to achieve this type of look. Other than that, it's your boy Noel Blends, and let's get right into it. So right here what I'm doing, I'm just trimming up his sides. We are just going to be shaping it up, not really going in there and making a precise cut. He just wants the flyaways to be trimmed down a little bit, just to give it, or that way you can just show the taper a little bit more. As you guys can see, I'm using my comb and just pulling out any little stray hairs and just cutting them off. Basically what we're doing right here is just giving him shape. We're creating shape for his blowout, basically a blowout taper. We are going to be leaving it more darker in the bottom undercut. It's not really going to be too much of an undercut. He wants to let it grow all out. So for our first step, we are going to be doing the 1.5 lever fully closed, and we're just going to take down some of the bulk, not really creating no guideline. We're just going to attack the dark spots, that way it matches up a little bit better. You do not got to put a lot of pressure on this. Again, remember, keep this in mind. This is just the way I cut my tapers. This is the way I do it. It might not be 100% correct, but this is what has helped me in my barber career. And I'm hoping to show you guys. Hopefully you guys learn something from it and you guys can apply to your daily barber skills. So for our first guideline, you do want to grab your zero gap trimmers. If you have some, it does not have to be zero gap. I do recommend using something that's not at first. If you're a little more advanced, you can use your zero gap trimmers. These are the baby lists. I will have everything listed down below. They do have the Graphite 2.0 blade. If you guys want to check it out and grab it for yourself, I got it from Amazon. You can grab it at any barber supply store. But we are doing a mid taper. I do like to start a little bit lower just so I can have a little bit more room to play with. We are doing it bald, so we are grabbing our shavers and just letting it do its work, going all the way to the top of the line and just using only one foil on it and just letting it do its work. Do not put a lot of pressure. So once you finish that step, you do want to grab your half guard lever fully closed, and we're going to create about a 1/2 inch guideline. Remember to always keep your blade flat when creating these guidelines. Unless they have a lot of bulk, you do want to flick out a little bit more, but in this case it's more of an undercut, so you do want to keep the blade flat and just make sure everything's down to the half guard. He is trying to grow out more of his undercut, that way we can match it up basically by his next haircut. So right here, once you finish up that step, you do want to take out the first initial bald guideline we had created and just keep the lever closed and open it about a quarter if you have to. Trust me, with these steps, the bottom line will come out a lot smoother when you do these steps instead of doing it fully open. A lot of barbers start with the lever fully open. You can get a nice blend with that too, but this makes it so much easier for you. So right here, I just go to my zero gap trimmers and take out any little stubble that my clipper missed. Next, what you want to do is grab your 1.5 guard lever fully closed, and we're going to create about another inch or a 1/2 inch guideline. If you want to do a longer blend, a more spread it out blend, you could do 1 inch. But if you're trying to keep it nice and compressed, or however long you want the blend, just make sure you keep it at least 1/2 inch. Right here, what we're doing, once you finish the 1.5, we're coming in with our 1 guard lever fully open and copying the same exact thing we did with our 1.5. Put it right on there, keep the blade flat, and we're going to start to sandwich the blend now. Right here, we're going to close it halfway. Now we're going to go a little bit more lower. Remember, as you guys can still see, I stress this a lot. Keep the blade flat. That's what you want. When you keep the blade flat when you're blending, it's going to create the smoothest blends ever. Right here, we close it fully. Now we're going to attack the middle ghost line. And keep in mind, it's not going to take it out completely. So do not stress it if it's not coming out. We're going to jump to our half guard next, and we're going to take it out the remaining ghost line. Right here, as you guys can see, this is the half guard. And right here, you do want to utilize your corners a little bit more and just attack the little dark spots. Go right on it and flick right on it. And I promise you it's going to come right out. If it doesn't, you can always jump back down to your no guard lever fully open or fully closed and just play with it. Basically, it's just detailing now. But remember, do not push up the blend. You got to be careful with this step because you can push it up. Right here, we jump back down to our no guard, and we're just going to play with it, keeping it right on the little stubbles that you see any little dark spots, just go right on it and give it a flick. Do not stress it too much. Just once you see it come out, leave it alone and do not mess with it. So right here, this is all detail work. I'm just jumping around my guards and just using my corners and going right on the dark spots. Also, what you want to keep in mind is that everybody's hair texture is different. So some hair texture might blend a lot easier. So just keep working at it. But I guarantee you, if you use these steps, they will come out super buttery. So we are doing his lineup right here. I did go in with the 1.5 in his middle part. That way, it matches up a little bit more with his right side because he is a little bit thin on the right side on both corners. And that's what you got to do sometimes. Just match it up, take it down a little bit. Every hair is different. It's not always going to be perfect. Just work with what you got. The main goal is to make your clients come back and fix their problems that another barber can't fix. So just remember, ask them, do a nice consultation, and make sure you know what they want exactly. We are going to be using a little bit of enhancement. My client requests it. Not everybody needs it. I don't think he needs it, but he likes them. So you got to do what the client wants and requests. Sometimes you may not agree on the client with some enhancement, but you just got to do whatever they want. And at the end of the day, it's making your client feel good about their hair, about themselves. And it's not really what you want. You know what I mean? You're just there to give him a service and help him out with his hair. Now for his back taper, we are going to start in the middle. We are going to do our first initial bald guidelines. We are going to go straight across, not really curving it in. I know some barbers like to curve it in, and not me. I like to actually push it up somewhat. That way on his edges are nice and blended in. Right here is where I'm going to push it up. Instead of going down with it, we're going to go up a little bit. That way the blend is nice and faded all the way throughout. Next, what you want to do is grab your shavers and just go all the way to the top. Let it do its work on its own. Do not put a crazy pressure, or else that first initial bald guideline is going to be tough to take out. So just let it do its work. Once you finish that, you do want to come in with your half guard, lever fully closed, and recreate about 1 inch guideline all the way across, keeping the blade flat. Remember that. Can't stress that enough. And we're just following the same thing, pushing it up a little bit in these corners. That way it blends nicely throughout. So once you finish up that step, we're gonna come in and take out our first initial bald guideline we had created. Just keeping the lever fully closed, going right on it and breaking the line. You may have to open it about 1/4. That's it. Honestly, you can open it as much as you need to, but you're not gonna have to open it more than like halfway. So now you want to jump to your 0 gap trimmers and just take off any little stubbles that your clipper missed. Just go right on it and just flick out. This is, you can flick out on this one. You don't have to keep it flat, or else you will probably push it up a little bit. Next, what you want to do is grab your 1.5 guard, lever fully closed, and we're going to create about an inch guideline. Right on top, following the same motion we did all the way throughout the fade. We're just going to round it off towards the edges. That way we blend it nice and even all the way across. Not making it darker, not doing all that extra stuff. We're just keeping it nice and simple. Whenever blending into bulk, you do want to give it more of a flick. Just if it's bulky. If not, keep that blade flat and you're good to go. But if it's a lot more bulkier, you do want to give it more of a flick when it's a lot heavier. And that way you don't dig so much into the bulk and create such a harsh guideline that it's hard to take out. So right here, what you want to do is grab your 1 guard, lever fully open, and we're going to copy the same exact thing. On this one, you do want to keep it flat because we're not going any higher than the 1.5. So just keep it flat, open, and then we're going to start to sandwich the blend. We're fading down now. We're starting to sandwich it. Closing it halfway, as you guys can see. Now we're going a little bit more lower, keeping the blade flat again, and just chipping away at it slowly, little by little. Fully closing it now, and we're just attacking that middle ghost line. Right on it, keeping it flat. Once again, I can't stress that enough. Keeping it flat is like sanding down the paper. It's going to create more of that smoother transition. Instead of looking really inconsistent, this is going to keep it from looking like that. As you guys can see, we're just going right on it. Nothing crazy, just letting the clipper do its work. Now we jump to our half guard, lever fully closed, and we're going to utilize our corners more and just attack the remaining ghost line. This should take it out completely. If not, you're going to jump down to your no guard and just play with it. But right here, this is what's going to make the blend pop out as well. It's going to connect everything together. So right here, this is basically just detailing. I jump back down, seeing the little spots that I missed. As you guys can see, I'm just using my Ulster fast freeze and just playing with it. So now what you want to do is grab your number 2 guard, lever fully open, and close it about a quarter and just go straight up. Which a quarter in these clippers is just one little notch. Not fully open, just closed about open, and then I close it one little notch. So 3 notches. And we're just connecting everything, going straight up. As you guys can see, not really digging into it. Just connecting the bulk to the fade. Now what you want to do is grab your 1.5 guard and go right underneath that. Same exact concept. Fully open and close one little notch and just go right underneath it and attacking the little dark spots. This is what's going to connect our blend with the bulk. Right here, I jump to my number 1 guard, back down, and just attacking any little dark spots I missed. Just detail work. This is detail work right here. It's a big important step. Detail work is the most important step out of everything. Right here, we're just going to line up his back. Basically, everything's done. Now I'm going to show you guys right now what I came up with. Me personally, I would have trimmed all that undercut to a solid 1.5 all around, but he wants to grow it out in this case, so that's what we're gonna give our client. And this was the before. This was how he sat in my chair, and this is what I came up with. I think the cut came out super dope, super clean. If you guys like this cut, or if you guys got any knowledge from it, Please comment down below, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you guys get alerted every time I drop a new video. I am dropping weekly for you guys. I'm back on this. And also, if you guys do want a haircut from me, the link is in my bio on my Instagram, on my TikTok, everything. Follow me on there at Noel Blends. Also, I do cut in Bernie, Texas, which is north of San Antonio. If you guys ever are in the area, just stop by. I do cut at Buena Gente Barbershop in Bernie, Texas. Other than that, it's your boy Noel Blends, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.